found was Teio. I know a lot of people said they really like Teio, so I looked Teio up specifically. I was like, oh, okay. Apparently Teio's kind of popular. I don't know because I haven't like seen or rolled Teio at all. Apart from like that one support of Teio, I didn't really see it. Make a horse face. How? I don't have the capabilities. Yeah. So let's look at Teio next. Tokai Teio, a triumphant return in Umamusume.
Before this video begins, if you'd like to see me play Umamusume live on my Twitch, I'll link it down in the description below. To further support this series, consider becoming a channel member as well, or leave a super chat and tell me what you enjoyed most.
Is it
Thank
an
you to all my
underdog story
current
as
channel
well?
members and subscribers over on Twitch. And now, without further delay,
That's true. No, it makes
let's
good
get
horse faces.
right into the video. Horse
They're a
racing
main
remains to
character?
this day as one of the
Oh.
most popular sports in Japan. Through the decades, legacies have been established and several
She looks like
racehorses
Special
have
Week.
solidified themselves in the JRA Hall of Fame, forever
they related?
immortalized for their greatness on the racetrack. Every year, around 6,000 to 8,000 new racehorses are registered to the JRA, and of that group, less than 30% would manage a single win throughout their career. Of this 30%, even fewer would be known as Triple Crown racehorses. Over the span of 1941 to 1992, the odds of becoming a Triple Crown racehorse were 1 in every 76,500.
What?
For many, this prestigious title was far out of reach,
76,500.
but for one racehorse, it would be the foundation to a story of perseverance. This is the story of Tokai Teio, the racehorse who defied all odds and turned the tragedy into a triumphant return. If you've been playing Umamusume or have been following the series, you'll know the game utilizes real-life events to shape the characters we race in the game. Before we dive into Teio's story, we first need to familiarize ourselves with what exactly a Triple Crown racehorse is. In the game, you'll compete in various races to climb to the top, eventually reaching the Ura Finale series. This instance in the game, just like everything in Umamusume, is modeled after races that took place in real life. A Triple Crown racehorse is a 3-year-old thoroughbred who has won 3 races that make up the prestigious Japanese Triple Crown. These races should sound familiar if you played through Umamusume Pretty Derby.
I don't think I've done it yet, have I?
Tokyo Yunshin, or the Japanese Derby, and the Kika Sho. The first ever Triple Crown racehorse was ST Light, who was given the Triple Crown title in 1941.
1941?
The next racehorse to receive this title would be Shinzan in 1964, Mr. CB in 1983, and finally Symboli Rudolph in 1984.
Ah, Rudolph!
Tokai Teio was set to be the next recipient of this prestigious title. This was because Symboli Rudolph was Teio's sire, making him bred for the racetrack just as his father was.
They look
On April 20th, 1988,
kinda
Tokai Teio was born at the Nagahama Ranch in Nikkapu, Hokkaido. Even Teio's name is a reference to his father's crowning achievements. Teio translates to monarch, directly referring to Rudolph's nickname Kote, meaning emperor. From birth, Tokai Teio didn't show much promise, having long legs and a delicate frame. However, his potential began to shine through as conditioning and training began.
But what sparks do they inherit?
Flexible movement and a competitive spirit.
Good ones, apparently. Their sire's really good.
His father's footsteps. Teio's unique flexibility is also brought up in the series, both by her fellow Umas and in the iconic Teio step, which is present both in the anime and in-game. In the world of Umamusume, Tokai Teio is a bright, bubbly Uma who has a natural-born talent for racing. She sees Rudolph as a mentor and a symbol of success. Rudolph is a student council president and always carries a sense of seriousness and elegance through the story of Umamusume. With Tokai Teio, Rudolph seems to have a softer side for her junior, and even from afar, still hopes the best for the Uma who admires her so much. This is yet another nod to real-life events in Umamusume, showcasing the lineage of Symboli Rudolph to Tokai Teio. Tokai Teio also displays high levels of speed in the series as well, a nod to the outstanding performance that he show on ramp courses. A horse of Tokai Teio's caliber should not have been able to record good times. He had a longer stride, but even still was able to shatter all expectations. Due to this, Shoichi Matsumoto, Teio's trainer, will plan a schedule to have Teio seize the next Triple Crown. In the anime, Tokai Teio is also racing as a legacy to Rudolph. Teio is inspired by seeing Rudolph race before she joins Tracen Academy. When first meeting with the legendary Triple Crown recipient, Teio vows to be the next Triple Crown racehorse, directly referencing the lineage Teio came from once more. Through the next string of victories, she'd inspire future generations of Umas
pretty
in the
idol-like,
series,
isn't it?
like Kita-san Black and
Having
Satono
like
Diamond.
a dream.
From Teio's debut on December 1st, 1990, he dominated each and every single race he took part in. The very same speed and competitive spirit shown in Umamusume is reflected in Teio's race history. From his initial debut until May 26, 1991, Teio remained undefeated on the race course.
Oh my
in this short
god!
time,
Only
he also placed
once!
first in the
Whoa!
Satsuki Show and Tokyo Yushun.
That's
This
insanely
left only the
good.
Kika Show to claim the Triple Crown. However, only 3 days after winning the Tokyo Yushun, Teio would hit a massive roadblock. With the Kika Show and the Triple Crown title within reach, Tokai Teio would sustain his first injury in his racing career.
Oh no!
Just as the anime subtly hints to in the first few episodes, Teio's keen-eyed handlers also felt something was off with the racehorse. After an examination on Teio was conducted, it was revealed that his left leg had been fractured. This, unfortunately,
God.
would shatter the dreams of Teio following in his father's footsteps, and in the anime, come as a devastating blow to Teio for not fulfilling her promise to Rudolph. The entirety of Umamusume Season 2 are the ups and downs of Teio's career. From this point until Teio's final race, I will do my best to paint a coherent timeline between the anime and real-life events as best as I can. Due to Teio's delicate frame, he was more susceptible to injuries such as this. Teio would spend nearly a year focusing on recovering and easing his way back into racing. In the anime, it's not depicted as anything severe. The first fracture is something Teio overcomes with relative ease, and is back to racing shortly after. Returning to racing on April 5th, 1992, Tokai Teio will place first in the Osaka High. This came as a wave of relief to onlooking fans
That's
who were worried for
crazy,
Teio's first injury.
Yeah, they got
Their
first
beloved
right away.
racehorse had bounced back.
They
and
didn't even
though
get like
he didn't
second
receive
or
the
third
Triple
or something,
Crown,
I feel.
he still displayed the same dominating presence he'd been known for on the racecourse. It was very rare to see an outcome like Teio's return. Several months without racing to immediately dominating the competition once more.
Yeah!
This feeling of
They had
relief,
to like heal
sadly,
and then
would
like
be
train
short-lived,
all
though.
over again.
Teio's next race would be the Spring Tenno Show, with his major competition being Meijiro McQueen.
McQueen
The
again!
interesting thing about this race is the overall distance of it. Teio had raced on tracks ranging from 1800 to 2400 meters, comfortably racing medium-distance tracks over the course of his career. This would be Teio's first long-distance run, challenging both the Uma version and the real-life counterpart with a long road of conditioning and training.
Why does
This
everyone want
rivalry
to run
reached
longs?
its peak on April 26,
Medium's where it's
1992,
at.
when the Spring Tenno Show would take place. Despite the difference in distance, Teio was still the majority favorite to win, holding his title as an undefeated racehorse. For context,
Gotta
up
build up
until
some
this point in
stamina.
Teio's
Start
career,
dragging
the lowest
tires.
he'd ever been on the fan favorite was third.
Oh,
In the 7 races previous, Teio would be
Third?
the favorite to win by a landslide, and this race was no different. Due to this, it came as a major shock and upset that Teio wouldn't place second after McQueen, but instead 5th overall. This would be Teio's lowest placement
not
in
enough
his career thus
stamina!
far.
Fifth!
Unsurprisingly,
Still top
Teio's
5.
image was criticized
pretty
by the
good.
media, establishing this
Criticized?
event as a dethroning of an undefeated racehorse.
Okay, but McQueen
The
is really
expectation
strong
was
though.
high due to
That's
Rudolph
not
being
fair.
adept to long-distance running.
Aww.
However, Teio couldn't live up to the same
Wait, that's
expectation.
really sad.
This loss would sow
Oh
the
my
seeds
God.
of doubt in
When you
Umamusume
can't-
for Teio,
Oh, when you
and
can't
only
live up to
continued
like
to snowball
your
from this point on.
legacy.
Several days after Teio's defeat, he experienced his second leg fracture of his career. At this point, Teio's injuries would be taken more seriously. Repeated injuries such as fractures could be deadly to racehorses, so it would be best to tread lightly. Despite Teio's injuries, and clearly personified in the anime, Teio's fighting spirit never dwindled, even after losing both the Triple Crown and his undefeated race history. This is the point where the anime ventures away from real-life events, so from this point onward, I'll be sure to cover what the anime left out in the remainder of Teio's career. On November 1st, 1992, Teio participated in the Autumn Tenno Show. Even after the first defeat of his career, fans still firmly believed in Teio's ability to win. This was back on a 2,000-meter course, something Teio showed clear domination on in the early stages of his career. Sadly, this race too would come as a major upset to fans of the beloved racehorse.
Oh my
Teio
God.
found herself
Teio
unable to
actually
accelerate any
lost
further
their
midway through the
esteem.
race, as reflected from actual racing footage. Teio would hover mid-pack for the entirety of the race, finishing 7th overall. far lower than the original 5th place upset against McQueen.
The RNG was just
this
bad.
would come as another major blow to Tails' reputation and cause firm believers of Tail to lose faith in the racehorse who dominated the majority of their career. In Umamusume, following the Autumn Tenno show, we followed Tail on an emotional journey through recovery and rediscovery. Episode 7 of the anime would showcase a devastating loss at the Arima Kinen, with Tail placing 11th overall.
Oh, 11th?
Following this, Tail would fracture her leg yet again in episode 9, reflecting events that happened on June 3rd, 1993.
This is a tragedy!
The 11th place Arima Kinen would take place on December 27th,
You sure this is an idol anime?
But between this point and the depiction of Tail's third fracture would be one of the most important races of Tail's career. This race, unfortunately, is not one depicted in the anime, and is a race that we're all too familiar with if you've seen Umamusume Season 1. The Japan Cup is a prestigious international race first established in 1981. This would pit Japanese racehorses against the best from around the world. The first race would include horses from Japan, the United States, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and India.
Oh my god, you fly your horse
racing
over.
had a strong presence in Japan at the time, and expectations were high to see a win
16-hour
from
flight
Japan
for your
overall.
horse to
The
race
first ever Japan Cup winner
on the other side of the
was
world.
Marzi Dose
Wouldn't your
from
horse
the
be
United
so
States,
confused?
coming as a major upset to the Japanese people. Following the debut of the Japan Cup, the door would be open to the best horses from around the world to participate, solidifying it as one of the most competitive international events to ever be established in horse racing. From the Japan Cup's initial establishment to the time of Tail's racing career in 1992, there would only be 2 victors crowned from Japan. These would be Katsuragi Ace in 1984 and Simbali Rudolph in 1985.
Rudolph! Oh my god, that's
From
why!
1986 to
They have to live up to
1991, Japan
Rudolph!
would see repeated losses at the Japan Cup.
Dude, this
As
feels...
the years progressed,
the
faith in the
legacies,
Japanese
the pressure.
victory grew smaller and smaller,
I feel
and the legacy
feel
of
like
the back-to-back wins of
so bad for
Katsuragi Ace
Teo.
and Simbali Rudolph slowly began to become a distant memory. Funnily enough, the Season 1 depiction of Special Week's win would be taken from the 1999 Japan Cup, 7 years after Teo's participation. Special Week's win would usher in another wave of hope for the Japanese people, and be the first of several consecutive wins of Japanese racehorses in the
Rudolph
following
is just
years.
built different.
The following
Really
victories
an
would
emperor.
include TM Opera in the year 2000,
TM Opera.
and Jungle Pocket in 2001. From 2001 till modern day, foreign competitors would only steal a victory twice from the pride of Japan. What once began as a race which showcased weakness over foreign competitors, now would show strong determination and pride of the Japanese people. Currently,
They're very
Japan has
nationalistic,
consecutive
this is
wins
true.
from 2006 to 2024, an 18-year record of wins at the Japan Cup.
Wow,
Though
18
Special
years.
Week's win is seen as a major victory, it would be Tokai Teio's performance in 1993 that would revitalize the pride and hope of the Japanese racehorses. Despite Teio's second fracture and the low placement in the Autumn Tenno show, he was set to participate in the 1992 Japan Cup.
Yeah,
It's
this is
important
the
to
World
note
Cup
that
of
Tokai
horses.
Teio's competition was nothing to scoff at either. Even at the time of writing the script, the horses Teo went up against are still widely seen as the strongest lineup in the history of the Japan Cup races. Teo wasn't seen as a horse to claim victory either, placing 5th in the overall popularity poll to win. So it would come as a major shock to everyone on November 29, 1992, when Tokai Teio began to advance to the front of the pack, against all odds, in front of the entire world.
Wait, which one?
Tokai
Which one's
Teio
which one's
was
Teo?
about to solidify himself as a legendary racehorse. Teo had upset all odds, claiming victory for Japan once more. Even
In the
though Teo
pink?
would never be a Triple Crown recipient, he managed to do something even better. Despite 2 leg fractures, Teo was able to bring home a victory his father had years ago, showcasing the determination and competitive spirit that was still present within Tokai Teio.
Don't skip it!
Teo had
Skip
not
the
only bested
animation!
all odds against one of the most
I wanna see the
difficult rosters
animation!
ever recorded, but had shown the people that nothing could keep him down.
Okay, so that
I'll never
one.
personally
There's a
understand
few
why the
jockeys with
anime
pink.
shied away from this race,
I want to see
but I
this
wanted
race.
to make sure to highlight it in this video. Aside from Teo's miracle return, which we'll cover shortly, this was the highlight of Tokai Teio's career.
Aww.
The sheer sound of the fans' cheers and the excitement in the announcers' voices
Yeah, this is
are
literally
enough
like when
to
your
establish
nation
just how
finally
much
wins,
hope
like in
Tokai
the
Teio
Olympics
had
or
inspired
something
with
for the
this
first
triumphant
time in a while.
victory.
Okay, so 14. Oh! Oh my god! What a fast horse! Oh! That was like, what,
Alright,
ahead?
Now that we covered
Ahead?
that portion of Teo's career,
They were
we can
like
look
really
once
close.
more to Umamusume Season 2 for the final race covered in this series. After sustaining a much more severe fracture on the 3rd of June 1993, Teo would cancel her race at the Tokai Kinen. This would showcase the internal struggle of Teo in the anime, seeing how she could have won the competition if she had participated. Teo would go through a lot of highs and lows at this point, but with the help of her friends and her trainer, she finds the strength and determination to continue on. At this point, Teo would be told she may never race at full capacity again,
Oh
a
my
devastating
god.
blow to the young Uma. Despite this, her determination to race never dwindled, and even through the pain of rehabilitation and conditioning, she found herself once more on the race course. A year after Tokai Teio's crushing loss at the Arima
I'm
Kinen,
getting sad.
the race following Tokai Teio's Japan Cup victory, she participated
Why
in the
is she so
following year's Arima
emotional?
Kinen. The popularity of Tokai Teio had seen
Imagine
many
being
ups and downs
told,
from her
like,
audience,
if
but
you're
everyone
you're
hoped
like
for a miracle for this
an
race.
Olympic
Teo's
runner or
popularity at the
something, you
previous
might
Arima
never be able
Kinen
to
would be
run at
first
full
seeded to win.
capacity.
However, after the crushing defeat a year prior,
And like you
it had
never got the
dropped
chance
to
to win the
fourth.
Triple Crown and,
If
and
Teo's
other stuff
previous
that you could have
absence had
won
little hope for turning a victory,
because of your body.
this race had even more doubt. In the recorded history of Japanese horse racing, there hasn't been a single G1 winner that hadn't raced for a year and come back victorious on the track. It's unheard of in general for this to occur at all, to have a horse return after such a long hiatus. Injuries like Teo's, for many, will result in retirement. When the race began, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Teo would perform as he usually did in both the anime and in Umamusume's final episode. As the race progressed though, just like with the Japan Cup, the audience began to see something remarkable occur. The miracle they all hoped for was about to become a
She's
reality.
activating all her skills.
In the anime, Teo digs deep to find the strength to push for first place, directly reflecting actual footage of the 1993 Arima Kinen. Just like in the Japan Cup, the audience cheers were overwhelming. The legacy of Tokai Teio was still alive, and a victory only described as a miracle
She's
was
trying
about to
so
occur.
hard.
Teo would
She's
surpass
living her
Biwa
dream.
Hayahide near the final spurt of the race, claiming another G1 victory after 364 consecutive days away from the race course. This solidified Teo as one of the
Wow, that
greatest
was, like,
racehorses of
such
all
a-
time, setting the record for the longest period for a G1
was, like,
winner
close,
to return
but then, like,
and
she
win
really
yet
pulled
another
ahead.
G1 race. Even in modern day, this record remains undefeated, a lasting example of Teo's perseverance.
Undefeated record?
The victory in the anime comes off episodes of Teo struggling with her injuries, the possibility of not racing again, nor racing with her beloved rival, Meijiro McQueen. Teo's victory in the anime is described as a miracle race because that's exactly what it was. Not only did Teo defy all odds at the Japan Cup, but once more in 1993 at the Arima Kinen. A victory that would
She
end
finally
Teo's
won
career
her
on a high
long!
note after
She
sequences
won
of
her
crushing
long
defeats.
after losing it
Sadly,
miserably.
Following the Arima Kinen victory, in 1994, Teo would sustain one final fracture that would force him into retirement.
Aww.
Even though he didn't claim the Triple Crown title, Teo had solidified himself as a legendary racehorse. Unsurprisingly, in 1995, Tokai Teio was inducted to the JRA Hall of Fame, immortalizing his story of perseverance and determination. Following Teo's retirement, a photo album was released of him titled Yume o Kakeru, which is the same name as the second season's opening of Umamusume, a tribute to Teo's legacy
Yume o
and the lasting
Kakeru.
impact he had on Japanese horse racing.
A
Teo
piece
would
of-
live out the remainder of
your
his
dream?
life away from the racetrack,
something?
acting as
I
a
don't know.
breeding stallion to continue on the legacy as he did Rudolph's. Teo would have 835 offspring, with some of the most notable being Tokai Point, Yamanin's Cure, Tokai
100 how
Pulsar,
many
and
offspring?
Strong Blood. Tokai Teio lived comfortably for the remainder
Okay.
of his life before passing
Clearly
away on
very
August 30th,
popular horse
2013.
here. Whoa.
He was the age of 25 and sadly would die of heart failure.
Oh,
A
they're already
racehorse who
dead.
defied all odds.
But they lived for quite a
and
while, it
returned
seems.
to captivate the hearts
No one would
of
have
millions.
ever expected
This
that.
was the story of Tokai Teio, one of determination and perseverance, a legacy honored by an energetic Uma with a love for racing and a drive to never give up.
god! That was so... That was definitely very anime worthy. I understand why they made an anime season based on that. What an arc. Wow. 2 comebacks. 2 injuries and 2 comebacks. And then one final injury that actually retired her. But wow. What a good girl Teio is. What a sports, like, anime story. Aww. Okay, I get it. I get it. Like... Teio is very best girl worthy. Yeah. I like the whole story with being like pressured to live up to Rudolph's legacy. Rudolph being like always the better one. You could have just been like your dad. You know, why aren't you as good as your dad? Your dad could have done this. Your dad won the Triple Crown. Stuff like that. And then like just her body failing her multiple times. I think that's Teio losing to Rice Shower too. That's really funny. Back to Rice Shower hate we are. Rice Shower, how dare you beat our best girl? I know, really an Asian horse household this is. Living in their father's shadow. But finally uplifting Japan. The whole nation being proud of her for how hard she worked in chasing her dream. That's so cute. That's so cute. Oh, they got 1 season. 1 season already. It seems like if they had like a couple of losses in their like past, that like must have been very devastating. So it completely matches like the story arc apparently of her losing confidence in herself. That's like this is so touching. I can't believe. That's cute though. You gotta run towards your dream together. Run towards your dream. Just like in Umamusume. Man. But sadly, they're not around anymore. Even after this anime endgame launched. Meow. In the anime, they have a motto: Eclipse first, the rest behind. Named after a famous British racehorse that won like 300 races. Really? Oh, imagine being such a winner. Imagine being such a cool horse that they have like phrases named after you. Yeah, I know Nada's still alive. Really, losing every race is the key. Apparently, if you lose every race but are popular, you can live. If you try hard, you don't. You don't survive. That's so sad. That's why I ask you, would you like to live a loser or die a winner? You can only be one. Okay.
Are you enjoying the video? Hi, I'm Meimi, and this is Hattie. If you enjoyed this video, then consider subscribing to my main channel. These clips are from live streams I do every week. Thank you.
This is her Arima Kinen 1993 final race. The long.
もちろんパーマが行ってレガシーと、あと行けばホワイトストーンも行くかもしれません。ストーンも行きますか。
That's how they put. Oh my god! Oh, there's so many helpers. They get the horse in and then they close them in. Let's shove. Let's shove the horse butt first. Button to fit.
そしてあとはメジロパーマを残すだけになります。エルベがちょっと立ち止まりました。 12頭はすでにゲート
Go in, go in. They really don't want to be in there.
去年逃げましたメジロパーマーの枠入りを待つだけであります。今日はそして今年はどういった逃亡劇をこのメジロパーマーは見せてくれるんでしょうか。安城は横山典弘です。さあ14頭枠入り。
I guess the horses wouldn't like being cooped up like that either. Oh, there they go.
スタートを切りました。メジロパーマーいいスタートであります。
メジロパーマーいいスタートですね。 Okay, so there are 4, right? They're the pink one and 4.
先頭やはりメジロパーマーが行きました。メジロパーマーが3馬身から4馬身、レガシーが2番手、岩早秀3番手、その後ろからホワイトストーンも行きました。1年ぶりの東海帝王も行っています。
東海帝王。 Let's go, Teio, let's go. 3 years of well, this is more than 3 years of training. This is beyond 3 years is the Triple Crown. And she didn't manage to do the triple crown. This is footage from 1993. A little crunchy. Look at the TV static on the bottom. Okay, they're still pacing. They're still in like the middle. Yeah, see, they're like strictly in the middle. Wow. But it's a long. The Arima Kinen's long, so you don't need to be in the front the whole time. Save your stamina, girl. Swing maestro, swing maestro. Oh. Making a bit of a move there. It's like I also don't understand. You know, like in car racing, I don't know like the strats of how to get through the pack and break through. It must be really difficult if you're stuck in the middle. Oh, they slipped on the outside. The other horses fell behind, so they saw a way to slip forward. Oh my god! Oh, look at them! Tokai Teio! Let's go! Teio! Teio's burst of speed! Look how happy their fans are! Tokai Teio out! Look at all the cheering fans. Look how happy the commentators are. The miracle pass. Look. Yeah. And this is the Tokai Teio step foot. This is so cute. The fact that she always does a little prancy prance. That's so cute. Oh, there you go. Hey yo, everybody. Yeah. The prince. Just like their father. They're so good. Nimble navigator best skill. True. Wait for the turns where you can get out of the box. But that was like the last spurt, you know. That was like the very, very last burst of speed. So, that's crazy.